Would you believe me if I told you that Spyro was actually the villain? Now, Spyro the Dragon is a game that you would think I've played, but I actually haven't. Yes, I main him in CTR, and yes, I've openly bigged up Year of the Dragon as being one of my favorite childhood games. But here's the thing. I actually played Year of the Dragon first, then I played Ripto's Rage, and by the time I got around to playing this one, I just sort of didn't. I don't know why. So let's put that right. The game kicks off in a world of dragons where they appear to be filming a documentary where this man is just bragging about how much money they have. He's then asked about a Gnasty Gnorc character, and this guy just jumps in and drops a whole diss track.
You know, I understand why Gnasty Gnorc is pissed off. He's an abominable gummy bear. Looks like the Hulk fell off. Must be rough in that junkyard. I don't know how you cope. When you so ugly as fuck, even your mirror says no.
And Gnasty weren't letting that slide, so he cast a magic spell which turns every dragon into a crystal statue, all except resident Short King Spyro, because otherwise it'd be a pretty short game. Now he's tasked with taking a break from bullying sheep, and now he's going to go on a Gnorc genocide. The game then picks up in the first world, Artisans. We meet our first dragon, and Spyro's like, yo, where's this Gnasty Gnorc, man? I'm gonna slap! Yeah, you wanna get a few of us out of these statues first. Fine. We jump into our first level, Stone Hill, and this is where we're introduced to the gameplay loop that we will be saddled with for the entirety of this game. See, it's a weird experience for me to come from Year of the Dragon, the third game in the trilogy, which has more complex levels, more movement options, more playable characters, actual cutscenes that move the story along. Hell, I'm pretty sure you can even fight the Zombot Sharktronic. This game has, well, none of that. The levels are very simple, they're very short, and the objective pretty much never changes from one level to the next. Plow through a few easy enemies, touch a few statues, and call it a day. And that's the entire game, pretty much. So after rescuing Salamence and this dragon who wants to tell us a story,
no thanks.
Spyro's just like, no, we're done with the first level. Next level's Town Square, where we finally get to hear some of that banger soundtrack. Save a few more dragons, including Nils, Devlin, and... we got Thor?
Thank you for releasing me.
Okay, nah, they done him dirty with that one.
Bring me Thanos? Are you a calm and reasonable person?
I'll stop. We then have our first encounter with our greatest enemy. The Thief. He steals dragon eggs, makes it a nightmare for you to catch him, and best of all, he talks shit the entire time. Next we got Dark Hollows. We got big enemies in this one. Is that Boogie 298? And the Gnorcs here have swords that they don't actually do anything with. I also found this tempting looking lockbox at the start. You can trek all the way to the other side of the map and get the key, and then it literally has 10 quid inside. Worth. And a few dragons later, that is it. That's another level. In fact, we're almost done with the first world. First, we got to talk to this dragon Argus, and he explains that Gnasty Gnorc has appointed one of his most devious henchmen to rule the artisan world, and I can now challenge him by going through the portal. Yeah, I have a question. If this henchman is supposedly ruling the artisan world, but he is also locked inside this portal that can seemingly only be opened by my progress, then how does that work? Anyway, first boss fight, his name is Toasty, but to be fair, he looks pretty menacing. Oh. Right. Where are you gonna go? You gonna go left? You gonna go right? Wait, he's done. That's the boss? Now, I want to cut this game some slack, because it is the first game, and like with a lot of these franchises, the first game tends to be quite bare bones. You can even see this looking at Crash if you compare the first game with, say, the third one. Hell, look at Garden Warfare 1 compared to Garden Warfare 2. The first game tends to be the one that walks, so the other games can run. However, prepare yourself for these bosses, because if you were sitting there thinking this is just the first one. They're going to get better than this. Then I got news for you. But now we're done with that, we can talk to Marco the Balloonist. He expresses his eternal gratitude for my saving the world from a sheep on stilts. And he's like, yo, there's more lame-ass bosses in the other worlds if you want to bully them too. And Spyro's like,
oh, say less.
Now we move on to Peacekeepers, the world that has become Gnasty's military training ground, home to only the most elite soldiers under his command, half of whom are trying to blow each other up, and the other half are getting their asses out anytime you go anywhere near them. This dragon explains that Gnasty can use a magic spell to transform stolen treasure into Gnorcs, and he's been stealing the gems so he can turn them all into minions for his political agenda.
Bullshit.
Really trying to make it seem like he didn't just snap because they called him ugly on live TV. First level's Dry Canyon. Not much to say about this one. What you're going to see with a lot of these levels when you strip them down to brass tacks is they're all pretty much the same. We have another round of na-na-na-na-na. We rescue Conan the Barbarian.
Yo, thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Yo!
And Boris.
Dry Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
Trying to imagine that in like a sort of...
You are a good glider, aren't you, Spyro? You're right, honourable gentleman.
Then we can move on to Cliff Town, which has perhaps my favourite enemy in the entire game. The Fat Ladies. Their words, not mine. She seems to have two ways she can attack you. Either she bitch slaps the shit out of you, which does no damage, or she'll slap her kid on the arse, activating him like the Winter Soldier, and he'll come and attack you instead. After rescuing Enzo Amore and successfully dive bombing the thief this time, we can move on. By now you've clocked onto the basic system that these enemies follow. You've got small enemy, he's no problem, stick it up his ass. Big enemy, uh-oh, he's big, you better flame him on Twitter. And then you've got this guy that you just kind of push off the edge before promptly stepping off it yourself. Collect up the stolen gems, farm a few corny dragon interactions.
Thank you for releasing me.
And then fasten your fucking seatbelts, because it's time for boss number 2. It gets better. It gets better. This dude is built like a pineapple. And he's... Dude, what are those? Are they aluminium sliders? Torch him.
War! War! War!
I missed the... Shit, hold on. I missed my £5. Hold on, wait. I mean, this dude is terrifying. Look at this guy. Ow! I actually just lost to this Reddit mod. I actually just lost to this thing. Okay, he did a different attack that time.
War! 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 War!
Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, hold on. Jump. Dude, these bosses are something else. You know, when I was fighting this guy, I was thinking to myself, I tried that Anton Blast that everyone was going on about. I didn't like it, to be honest. But I died on the first boss 27 times. If you hadn't named this level after him, I wouldn't have even known this was a boss. But there's good news. Now, we get to do something different. Tell me why I pull up to a new world and that's the first thing I see. Welcome to Magic Crafters, the world of cosmos and druids, where even the thieves are magical. You get Spirit of the Forest in this world, except in this game he doesn't pop balloons with enchanted vines. Instead he shifts the landmass and then laughs at you. I think I prefer this one. The world's called Magic Crafters, so of course, we got Wizard Harry's. I would then like to immediately retract my previous statement about the druids.
Bullshit.
We meet this dragon Xantor, and he's like, hey, wanna go fast? Now we're off to Wizard Peak. Could have just called it Hogwarts. This level's a bit of a laugh. You rescue Jarvis, and he goes,
Good evening, Mr. Stark. This level's full of supercharge pads. Shall I run diagnostics on all the hit and runs you're about to commit?
and then you can proceed to just lay waste to anything in your path. Alternatively, use the other end of the ramp to jump all the way over to this secret platform. You will never guess what I found. The rest of the level's pretty simple. The thieves just aren't even trying anymore. But if you think they suck, then perhaps I can interest you in the third boss. Listen. We're all adults here. I don't know who came up with these names, but I hope they paid you well. What even is that? That looks like the mosquito from Rayman 1.
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped in crystal.
Literally an hour and a half. I'm really putting up a fight, this one. Surely they get better than this. Surely this is not it. I told you to prepare yourself. Dark Souls ain't got shit on this game. Especially because you can't do this. Now we're off to Beastmakers. I did not like this world one fucking bit.
Gnasty Gnorc is turning our swamp into an electrified junk heap. And it used to be so beautiful.
That is bullshit.
This world is a shithole. The Gnorcs are incredibly annoying. I've got fat dragons asking me to draw them like one of my French girls. And the plants eat you. Do you not think I've had enough of that shit? Also, this just in, you can drown through the floor. Got some interesting dragons in this one though. You've already met Cyprin. We got Roscoe.
Be on the lookout for attack frogs.
Bubba.
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures. Smash them, Spyro! Stamp them out and squish them and squash them!
What's going on with you, man? And Cletus.
Look what I can do with my thumb.
I'm not going to waste your time with treetops. It's just a whole lot of high-speed parkour and having bananas thrown at you. What I will waste your time with is the coolest flight level in the game. Dude, that might have been the cleanest one yet. We had an interesting boss this time round. I would say this is the one boss that actually could have been good. It's a giant robot powered by a bunch of mini power supply poles. It shoots electricity and even throws other enemies at you. So what's the catch? Well, unfortunately, this particular tin can has a fatal weakness. You don't actually have to kill it. In fact, if you position yourself carefully behind the power poles while it's throwing shit at you, then it will just kill itself. Listen, mate, the thing is your life is about as valuable as a summer ant. Oh, do not walk into that. I've got no health. Thank you. He just keeps destroying them. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should unplug yourself now. Wow, I didn't even beat that boss. Oh, sorry, you thought the boss fights were gonna get harder? Nope. So let's recap what we've done so far. We've had Shaun the Sheep on stilts, a LARPing Reddit mod, the mosquito from Rayman called Blowhard, and a Tesco Z-Mech that game ended itself. And you're telling me these are his top guys? I'm starting to think this guy's not the villain. But hang on. There's still time. We've still got one more boss. One more of Gnasty's devious henchmen. And I reckon this is going to be the one that changes everything. Jacques. In the box. Get it? It's a joke. Oh, get out of here. All you need to know about Dreamweavers is it has perhaps the single coolest thing in this game. I give you the Magic Bullytronic 5000. This thing is incredible. You can literally use it to shrink enemies. And there's nothing they can do about it. And assuming this thing shrinks you, you know, proportionately, I don't think it's out of the question to say that this is, in fact, a magic micro-dick shrink ray. We're getting towards the business end of our bullying now. There's only one level here that I want to talk about, and that's Haunted Towers. If you have ever played this game, you know exactly why. So it turns out Spyro is down bad. Spyro is down very bad. In fact, Spyro is down so horrendous that one kiss from a woman who's somehow even shorter than him turned him into Smaug. You know, this reminds me of when you're in the gym and that cute girl walks in, and then suddenly, as if by magic, your bench PB just doubled. Easy, Spyro. I saw a link tree in her bio. Rescue a few more fairies, pop a few balloons, and Legolas if he was made out of tomato puree, and we're ready to head to Gnasty's world, the last line of defense, where we'll have to negotiate our way through the biggest and baddest enemies yet. Nice pants. Twilight Harbor is the penultimate level. I don't have too much to say about this one, except the Gnorcs have machine guns. Yeah, we jumped that one up a notch. We also have Rambo Gnorcs that throw grenades at you. Although thanks to Haunted Towers, I've already been acquainted with this particular concept. And we're rescuing dragons in this world that we've already saved. Didn't I make fun of you already? And now there is only one enemy left to face. One final hurdle to overcome before our journey is complete. One last score to settle. He's green, he's disgusting, and at this point, I am sick of the sight of him.
You son of a...
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've finally done it. We took down the last thief, we saved the day, and... oh, you're still alive. And all was well once again in the Dragon Kingdom. For about 10 minutes. After rolling the credits that are verifiably false, by the way, we return to Gnasty's world to meet one last dragon who reveals the truth. For you see, Gnasty Gnorc was never really that bad. The dragons just never liked him because they thought he was ugly, and they never liked his friends because they thought they were weird. They were also wildly jealous of Gnasty's innate talent for using magic, as well as Toasty's aptitude for using stilts. And after one of the more popular female dragons, Loretta, saw a drop in revenue on her OnlyFlames, she decided she wanted a wing augmentation, but she couldn't get it on the NHS. So instead the dragons hatched a diabolical scheme in which they stole the money themselves, that's right, it was an inside job, and they locked away some of the stolen money in Gnasty's junkyard to make it look like he did it. They then made up a conspiracy theory about him turning gems into Gnorcs, and that's why they drop gems when you kill them, when in reality they were all paid off, that's right, they were in on it too. They then blackmailed Gnasty into casting a spell that would turn them all into crystal statues, knowing that it would be at worst a minor inconvenience, and they would all be free within the hour anyway. They also knew that Spyro was too short to be affected by the spell, and that he would take this personally, and would likely respond by laying waste to the entire species, because he's honestly a bit of a twat. But they fucked it, because Gnasty actually survived his encounter with Spyro, and now he's threatening to drop a twit longer, exposing where the money actually went, but now they can't get access to the junkyard to try and recover the rest of it, because Spyro is now in possession of the key. I put my goddamn soul into making this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then drop a like. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, you know, if you want to see more. And yeah, God, this took a minute. For real though, this is easily the most fun I've had making a video for a long time. I had so much fun putting this together. So I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks as always for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.